hard way.
Line drive kick, and it will be a touchback. 19 against Texas, including, of course, that game-winning touchdown on the direct snap. And he's got the first carry, and he is slammed immediately, failing to make the tackle was D. Winters, but it's about a 3-yard gain. The Chick-fil-A impact players tonight when the Sooners got the football.
Well, you just talked about the biggest beneficiary of having Caleb Williams in is Kennedy Brooks. We'll talk about him in a second.
He's split out in the empty backfield, and they throw it over there to Jaden Hazelwood, and he's knocked down right near the marker at the 35. It'll be a first down.
I think Kennedy Brooks gets a chance to do what he can do because of the attention that's going to be paid in the running game to Caleb Williams there. They just went 4 receivers, a quad formation in the left. TCU one short, just a quick flip out to the outside to Hazelwood, and they're off and running.
Take it on TCU defense. It's far below the standard of what Gary Patterson has established in his 21 years in Fort Worth. And right away, they give a big running play. Brooks is off and running. And they finally wrestle him down inside the 35. Pick it up where he left off in Dallas.
One of the things that got overlooked last week was the play of the offensive line. And being able to run this counter play and get Brooks with the patience out where he can do some work, just like they did right there.
Playing with tempo, Williams on play action, delivers a long throw. Man open is Marvin Mims, another one of those heroes last week, and they are moving the rock inside the 20 now.
And again, it's a puzzle for Lincoln Riley. You run that counter play, you come back the very next play with a similar look, play action off the same look, the safety's eyes are in the backfield, and he's got a wide open receiver downfield.
Huge chunks for Oklahoma in the first 4 plays. Empty backfield again, Hazelwood again. And is knocked down at the 10-yard line.
I mean, right now, the defense from TCU, their heads are spinning. I mean, it's a lot of different formations. Caleb Williams with 4 receivers again there to the left. Gary Patterson trying to make in-game adjustments while the team's out there. But just, again, a man short to that 4 wide receiver set to the left.
Talked about the injuries on the defensive side for TCU. There's a lot of them. There's some guys that are coming back who've been out. There's a bunch of dudes who are playing hurt tonight. We don't have Wyatt Harris, the linebacker. Bud Clark, the safety, also out tonight. 2nd and 2. Williams hesitated, tucks the football, makes a cut, and barrels for a 1st and goal down near the 2.
It almost felt like a quarterback draw. I mean, looks like it's a broken play, but you got linemen going downfield, and he's able to pick up that first down. And again, that's where his legs, not just design QB run or zone read, but of course, he's able to pull it down and make yards, positive yards like that right there. Just so much different of a style of attack from the Sooners with 13 back there.
A lot of options on 1st and goal. It's Jeremiah Hall shifting around along with Stogner to the right side. Brooks up the middle. That was easy. Oklahoma right down the field in the first drive. Is Caleb Williams as a starter.
Well, didn't that feel like Oklahoma over the last 5 years with Lincoln Riley as an OC? That was 7 plays, 75 yards at 259. Total command. Asserting themselves, TCU's defense reacting to the aggressive nature and the confidence of that attack from Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams.
Williams 3 for 3, 2 of them to Hazelwood. Brooks is headed for another 200-yard game if they don't tackle him better. He's already got 37 on the opening drive. Brooks scoring on the ground for the 7th time this year. And now the Horned Frogs on the road will have to try to answer this. Their main weapon, Zach Evans, running back with a foot injury, just not able to go. Darius Davis is a speedy returner. He has a chance to make this from 2 yards out. Davis trying to get the corner and use those wheels, and he'll be tackled short of the 20-yard line. Good pursuit by that Sooner coverage team. And here
a lot of pain just to be out there.
Again, it's Kendra Miller He's a speedy back, had a 3-touchdown performance against Texas Tech last week in the second half, but Evans went out, and he's going to be certainly one of the impact players tonight. Chief by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, this is a team that's going to run the ball. Pendray Miller is in for Zach Evans. Going to have to do a good job. Good to see Quentin Johnston back. Number 1 can get vertical. Nick Benito, and they're throwing. They got to watch out for 11. And Key Lawrence, who's in at safety for Turner Yell, the starter. Very athletic, a transfer over from Tennessee. He's got to have discipline tonight in the back end.
Johnson in motion. This is Miller in the flat, and he's knocked down 2 yards short. You know, Doug and Kirk only had to throw 10 passes last week. They ran it 47 times against Texas Tech. A little different field tonight.
It is. It really, they're going to have to be balanced, which they've been, but it's a different feel with TCU. You know, you think of this air raid era, it's impacted TCU as much as anybody in the Big 12, and they like to throw it around. This year, they want to establish the run. They want to win the line of scrimmage and make you be physical at the point of attack.
Offense has done well on third down so far this season, converting at 54%. Miller deep, handoff, they chase him down, nowhere near the marker. Nick Benito, one of the studs on that Sooner defense. He played a monster game a week ago, makes the tackle for loss, 3 and out.
Yeah, Asamoah right here, just nobody picks him up. You got the tight end out there. He's able to slip through and right away just blows it up. Benito cleans it up, but penetration, that's what Oklahoma prides themselves on as a defense. Alex Grinch wants to get upfield, and TCU made it pretty easy for Brian Asamoah to get back there.
Marvin Mims, one of the better punt returners around, deep to receive the punt from the 28-year-old Aussie. Third-year punter, Jordy Sandy. Not the start Patterson was hoping for. Sandy kind of delays, lets the coverage guys get down there, kicks a high one, and Mims comes up and makes the fair catch at the 38-yard line. So Caleb Williams came in on a 4th and 1, remember, early on, and he scored a touchdown. And then when he took over as starter, 9 possessions, 4 touchdowns, 3 field goals.
Yeah, this might have been my favorite play. I mean, they're down 3 possessions, fumbles the snap on 3rd and 11, regroups, and then there's this one. On the run, 57 yards through the air to Marvin Mims. Real turning point in the game, and there's that energy that not only the offense benefits from, but also the defense as well. And you can see it just feels, even tonight, it feels different with him in there.
Riley was pretty tempered in his praise of Williams. The fans are going crazy, and he said Williams, quote, played pretty well. He understands some of those deep throws were 50-50 balls that his receivers won on. There's another throw in the flat there, and it's Braden Willis. He's such a tremendous blocker. You see the block already in that first possession was tremendous.
Yeah, and I just go back to what Lincoln Riley said after the game. I think, of course, he has to try to downplay. There's so much excitement in this community, in this state, about Caleb Williams getting his opportunity, and he's thinking about Spencer Rattler. I mean, in fact, he was quick in that postgame to point out, how about the 2-point play by Spencer Rattler? He's doing anything he can to try to keep Spencer Rattler engaged and feel that he's obviously still a big part of what they're doing.
Williams retreats, shows the escapability. That's one of his attributes. You get near him. Texas did 9 times, Kirk. Couldn't get him to the ground last week.
You know, I mean, we're talking so glowingly about him, and I think he's short, and I think he had plenty of time to get the first down. That's the one mistake I've ever seen a guy make, is that instead of knowing where the sticks are, he just kind of nonchalantly just steps out of bounds, and he's a yard short. Now, they may get at the first down, but that's something that I'm sure when they look at the film, that's an area that you need to improve and have an awareness of where that first down marker is.
Not his first career mistake. He's had trouble handling the snaps. We'll keep an eye on that tonight. He's dropped 3 shotgun snaps in 2 games. The direct snap to Brooks won it last week, and this is just the conventional handoff. And they are mauling the Horned Frogs up front into TCU territory.
Yeah, I think just the action. How many times have we seen this? Just the zone read look. The linebackers have to freeze, have to respect that he can pull that. And that may sound like a small thing, but when you hesitate just enough, offensive line can get up to the second level. Kennedy Brooks has more room to work. So, you know, like I say, this is not just about 13. It's how 13 affects the running game and every other aspect of what they're doing.
Eric Gray joins Brooks in the backfield in this first down play. And Gray's got it, and he's dragged down after a 5-yard play. But this TCU defense, Kirk, averaging 5.2 yards per rush given up. They haven't had a year like that since '77. It's been a long time since they've been this vulnerable to the run.
Yeah, it has everything to do with the injuries. You know, they lost 2 safeties to the NFL draft. Then a couple of their safeties this year hurt that were going to start. They've been scrambling more than I think any defense in the country with safeties and linebackers this year. That's why I think their numbers are so skewed in a way that we're just not familiar with that with TCU.
And here's a downfield shot. Running free is Woods, and he's got it inside the 10. Michael Woods beat C.J. Caesar. First and goal.
Again, when you run the ball, you run the ball, you run the ball, you affect the eyes of the safeties. Look, Bradford is in the back end. His eyes are in the backfield, and because of that, it creates a one-on-one opportunity.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Oh, hold on, it's coming back. A late flag. An eligible receiver downfield, spotted by Kevin Marr's crew, nullifies the 39-yard gain.
You can see the lineman that's going to get downfield, but watch the safety with the action in the backfield. Watch how he comes up, has to respect it. Now you've got a one-on-one opportunity to be able to throw it, but the center gets way downfield. Good job of the officials being all over that, but that's what TCU has to be concerned about. The safety's eyes against the run game and how it'll set up one-on-one shots downfield from Caleb Williams to these receivers.
He's about 2 yards farther than the rule allows. Defensive coaches around the Big 12 applauding because that doesn't always get called, is it fair to say?
You're so right.
Williams has great protection, delivers wide open across the middle. Trayvon West is still running. West barreling down, moving back 5 yards. Doesn't matter. Another big chunk play.
They're thinking about everything downfield. Taking away the deep shot. Look how the middle of that defense opens up. Good patience by Caleb Williams, not taking it downfield. Intermediate crossing route wide open and a big hole in the TCU Horned Frog defense, and Caleb Williams takes advantage.
This has become a little too familiar for TCU fans this year. This defense looking a little confused. Brooks has got it, tries to bounce it, and that's a nice play. Michael Naobi to make the tackle. One of those safeties who's having to fill in with Bud Clark out. He'll be an experienced guy, but hasn't been a starter much in his career.
Yeah, that's good team pursuit. Mathis setting the edge there. There's really nowhere for Brooks to go, and you can see the speed that this TCU defense has.
Not nearly as many of those tackles behind the line as we're used to seeing from TCU. One of the worst in the country in that department. Play action, Williams across the middle, end zone, touchdown, Jeremiah Hall. 2 possessions, 2 scores for Williams on the offense.
I thought he was going to end up being late here, but he's still able to get it in there. Hall is such a great weapon down in this part of the red zone. Right here, he works over the middle. Watch where, if you're quarterback, you're thinking he's going to throw it now, throw it now, throw it now. And again, just some of the inexperience. He wanted to make sure that he was open and still with that arm strength, able to get it in there.
All the senior from Charlotte, versatile guy. He can run it, short yardage situations, excellent receiver. 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Burkich bangs it through, and a strong message being sent by the Oklahoma Sooners that with Caleb Williams as a starter, the fast starts are back.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Rocking the golden hat for the 4th consecutive year. That's a great part of the Red River rivalry. And here's Caleb Williams building on what he did against Texas. 6 for 6 start. And 50 points. If you go back the last 25 minutes of football for Oklahoma, of course, in Dallas, and so far the first 9 minutes or so tonight, 50 points.
Yeah, so he's not only scoring, he's scoring fast.
Yeah. They did struggle to score fast. You know, the first 4 games against Power 5 competition, Chris Felica, the Bear, reminding us only totaled 3 first-quarter touchdowns in those 4 games. That's not typical. It's not what they expect around here. 2 already in this first quarter. And TCU, after having run 3 plays, an ugly 3 and out.
Taking on Braves and the boys in Nashville. Big good one.
Duggan looking to throw. Sideline route. Finds Quentin Johnson, and he's knocked down. I wish we'd seen him more in college. We didn't get to Laramie often.
No, we didn't. We got to watch him. We had to watch him. And he was always a fun player to watch. I just love the athletic ability that he brings to that position. Can create, keep plays alive. You know, TCU, anytime you're on the road, you're a heavy underdog, you're down 14. Gary's been here a million times. Just got to settle in, get a couple of first downs, kind of kill this momentum.
Duggan, a long throw, a nice throw. It was just kind of through the hands there of Johnson, who was out last week against Texas Tech, a guy that once committed to Texas, a highly touted receiver out of high school, Temple, Texas. Now it's 3rd and 7. This is a problem.
It's a problem when you have Nick Benito, who can rush the quarterback really well. They like to move him around. He's lined up to the blind side, to the left of TCU's offensive line.
You might be the blind side, but I think Duggan want to keep his eye on him.
Yeah, he absolutely will. He's up here at the top.
Rubina Eze, and left tackle, is across from him. And Duggan trying to scramble for it. Can he get there? Makes a cut, breaks a tackle, and Duggan, who is playing on that injured foot, first down out near the 40.
Hey, man, that is a huge play, obviously, but it's just what he did. He waits, good coverage downfield. They didn't blitz. They're hoping that Benito can get home. He doesn't. And then it's just that gives you an idea of what he can do in the open field. Chris, you said in the open how athletic he is. I mean, he can spin it, but he's a dual guy that if you give him enough room, he's got balance, contact balance, and that time on a big 3rd down in this game, he picks up the yards for the first.
It seemed unlikely when he took off, right, Kirk? But he was able to navigate for that 16-yard gain. That's desperately needed by this Horned Frog team.
Yeah, and now you pick up a first down like that, and all of a sudden now you can get back to your bread and butter, which is that offensive line and running the football tonight with Miller. Now, good chance we'll see Foster 21 too. They're going to have to mix in different backs. They have good depth there with Zach Evans out.
Duggan looking to throw to screen underneath. Miller has blockers, and Kendrick Miller's got great speed. Tide roping down the sideline all the way home.
Well designed, great call by Doug Meacham, and great execution by this offense.
Miller's the guy out of East Texas. He was not.
Play and a turning point on that drive, no question.
Maria Williams making the fair catch.
Just showed it sets you up against play action.
There is play action. Williams, another downfield throw. Mims is wide open. It's underthrown. He comes back to makes the catch at the 30-yard line. He beat T.J. Carter in coverage.
Well, behind him. Yeah, and again, you were just talking about the concern. Watch the back end. Watch the miscommunication, and look how Mims gets behind. You got inexperienced safeties back there, and you've got their eyes right now being affected. Time T.J. Carter looked like he got lost.
Just huge chunks of yardage.
Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Marquise Hayes, that was a 41-yard gain. Pressing the ball downfield. We didn't see a lot of this from OU in the first few games of the season.
No, and you got 2 right there. You had 2 defenders on one guy out in the flat, just a bust. Again, how do you bust like that? It's easy. When a game's coming at you fast and you're worried about play action in the run game, you get your eyes in the wrong spot. That time T.J. Carter loses his focus, and Mims gets behind him.
Mims didn't have a touchdown until last week. Had a pair, averaging 21 yards a carry. He has been the big play weapon. Gray wrestled down and finally able to get a stop there. And they've got Oklahoma behind the sticks on 2nd and long now.
So when you have Caleb Williams as a running threat, let's not forget the offensive line and Brooks and Gray, they're tough enough to deal with, right? So you're worried about the quarterback and the running backs.
Williams pressured, and he is sacked. They didn't get him last week, but TCU's O'Shawn Mathis is their top pass rusher, gets home that time.
Well, this is good coverage downfield. Mathis is up here. He's able to get around the right tackle, Robinson, but good coverage. Nowhere for Caleb Williams to go, and most importantly, because he's athletic and can create and improvise, he was in the pocket where Mathis could get around the tackle and eventually get home.
Leader, he's a captain on this team. Had a slow start last year, then came on big. They're hoping for the same thing this season in the stretch run. Just his second sack of the season. And Williams on 3rd and 19 delivers. And Mario Williams steps out of bounds. The penalty set him back, and then TCU's defense rises up. It's 4th down. Gary still on the field.
Gary Patterson, because of that, he's trying to be. You said, what do? You stick with your base. Then if you do get him behind the sticks, you can go to that 3-2-6 that everybody plays and try to keep the ball in front of you and just rally to the ball. And that's what they did on that 3rd down.
So Burkich, who was strong in the Red River rivalry and hasn't missed this year from beyond 40, 3 for 3, tries this from 46. And it starts right and doinks off the right upright. Amari DiMercato is spelling Miller for the moment, and they fake it to him and pitch it out in the flat. Johnson's got space. Stiff off. The long strider moving deep into Oklahoma territory.
Again, we just talked about TCU having a bust, and now you see TCU offense taking advantage of a bust by Oklahoma. Remember, this is an Oklahoma defense that has struggled much of the year.
Mercado, or excuse me, he's taking the quick pitch. Maybe the 33-yard gain. The Horned Frog is using some tempo. So Oklahoma bolted to a 14-point lead. The Horned Frogs answer at the end of 1. They are on the move. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Committee's attention, ESPN.com/Taco Bell for more info. Beginning of the second quarter, 2nd and 8 for the Horned Frogs in Sooner territory at the 36. Empty backfield. Duggan gets it out quickly. It's a slant and stopped yard short of the marker there. It's Gunnar Henderson, reserve wide receiver.
Love how they go empty, 5 receivers. The threat of him running in the empty forces Oklahoma with the 4 down linemen have to respect and they keep people in close to the box in the line of scrimmage. Opens up an easy throw there to set up this 3rd and short.
So Doug Meacham was the play caller on the field. And it breaks a typical pattern for offensive coordinators. It's a keeper. Duggan lost his footing. Deshaun White was there to stop him. So it's 4th down now. Horned Frogs actually lost about a foot on that play.
I couldn't tell if his knee touched, because I thought if he stayed up and extended himself, he was about a half-yard short. Did his backside touch?
No, his knee went down.
The right knee touched. Okay.
There's a chance for the Sooners to get off the field and protect that lead.
Same look where they're going to go empty, try to move that Oklahoma defense out, give him the option to run it or to get it out of his hands quickly. Gary wants a timeout up top. Now obviously tight.
DeMarque Foster, number 21, is the back behind Duggan. They fake it to him. Duggan looking to throw and now get there with his legs, and he can't. He is collared. Brian Asamoah with the 4th down stop, and OU takes over.
Asamoah right in the middle of this defense. Good speed and good instincts. They know that Duggan's a threat. They give him the option to run or throw. And look at the speed. That's the strength of Asamoah. That's what he brings to the table. 16th start in his career here for the Sooners. And that time he does a really good job of anticipating that Duggan is going to try to get to the corner and takes it away.
Top tackler in the defense out of Columbus, Ohio, making his way to Norman. So the Sooner D gets a stop, and Caleb Williams and company right back to work. 2 touchdowns and a field goal off the right upright in their first 3 possessions. Fake it to Brooks. Williams on the move and fires complete. Third catch by Hazelwood. Williams is still perfect on the night.
Well, that time is just a great effort by Hazelwood to climb the ladder, come up with that reception.
9 for 9. 4 receivers to the left of the formation. Williams instead looks over to the right and finds a man, and Woods off and running, makes a cut, foot race. Woods dives and knocked down just short of the goal line.
Well, in the first couple drives, they went to that quad look and they attacked that way. Now he's paying attention to the safety. The safety works to the middle. Now he's got one-on-one to the outside with one of his best receivers. You see how calmly and poised he waits for his receiver to make the play. Woods does. There's the progressive pylon cam. Shows you how close he got to making it all the way to the end zone. But good recognition of reading the safety there by Caleb Williams.
Tough ask for C.J. Caesar in space. He's a corner that gets picked on a lot because they don't try Trey Hodges-Tomlinson on the other side very often. Elite cover corner for the Horned Frogs. On first and goal, Brooks muscles down to the 2.
4 wide receiver look to one side. Lincoln Riley coming up with that wrinkle with Caleb Williams in at quarterback, and it gave TCU fits the first few drives, but it wasn't the explosive play. That time they adjust to where all those 4 receivers are, but they leave the one receiver back to the other side by himself one-on-one and give up a big play. Boy, Gary, another timeout. Gary Patterson up top running down to get another timeout in.
Stop here. Second and goal. Brooks and Hall in the backfield. Each guy scored a touchdown already. They fake the pop pass. Williams looking to throw for it, and it's in and out of the hands of Austin Stogger. The H-back was wide open. Don't see that often.
No,
the first incompletion.
And he's got such reliable hands, right? I mean, he's one of his favorite targets, and especially down when you get down inside that 5-yard line, the one guy you can really count on. Look at his size, his wingspan, his catch radius, and I think maybe he felt the oncoming defensive back who's about to hit him, and Caleb Williams thinking, oh, man.
You'd like to see that, though, and a smile from the quarterback after a drop in the end zone.
It's like we had that one.
Third and goal. Ran out of time. Chased down and will be sacked for the second time tonight. Otas by O'Shawn Mathis.
O'Shawn Mathis, this is not just speed. It's a relentless approach to get around Tyree Robinson and not give up on the play. Watch how he works to the outside. This, the quarterback goes away from him. He does not give up on it. And this gives you an idea how fast he is. I mean, he's closing ground on Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams, you'd love to see him feel that. And if nothing else, just throw it away. But still have a great attempt at 3 points.
Chip shot for Burkich from 28. And 46-yarder was off the upright a while ago. This one is through. I talked to Matt. So 2 touchdowns, then missed field goal and made field goal. The lead is 10, but as you said, Horned Frogs kind of hanging around a bit. Davis just looking for a chance to flash that speed. He's got plenty of it, and he has wrestled down. Rushing it sent to the house, too. They fake it to him. Duggan's got to scramble. Looks downfield and delivers a long throw to strike to Johnston. He had first down yardage, came back to catch it. Tackled by the freshman Billy Bowman short of the marker.
Boy, it's a good job, obviously, getting away from the pressure by Duggan, but watch the receiver come back to the football. Sees his quarterback's in trouble, comes back to the ball. You know, he is such a great vertical threat. It's 6'4", 201 pounds, but love to see him come back and make that play and help his quarterback out.
Horned Frogs were lining up, hoping to run this 2nd and 1 play with tempo.
Yeah, they're moving the sticks. I think they're waiting to get the sticks moved.
So they're going to credit Johnson with a first down on that? It certainly looked like he was stopped short of the marker, well short of the marker. Comes back and makes the catch. You see the marker right there.
It's forward progress where he caught the ball. It looked like he was right at the marker, but they give it to him.
Patterson will take it. And let's take a look at Miller here. Makes a cut on that foot that Holly talked about, and that's a massive win. They get about 7 on first down.
That's what they've been doing really all year, no matter who's been back there. And you know, I think this air raid attack with Jerry Kill coming over as an offensive analyst, it's a different mindset now with the offensive line and the physicality up front. I mean, they want to run the ball. They average 236 yards a game on the ground. So no matter who's back there with Duggan, they're going to still want to try to make these linebackers and defensive linemen be aware of that run game.
Miller's the guy who first career averages 7.8 a carry. Late pressure. Duggan gets it to Miller. Took his eye off the ball, bobbled it, and that kind of ruined his chance to make the first down. Benita was there to hit him, and Asamoah as well.
Justin Broyles was coming. He was coming. He came from a long way back in disguising the blitz, but eventually he gets there. Duggan able to just check it down, but obviously did not pick up the first down. Good defense there by the Sooners.
See Miller back on the table there with the athletic trainers looking at him. You saw a shot of Zach Evans, who couldn't go tonight with a foot injury. So empty backfield. They need 2 on this third down play. Duggan over the middle, caught. And that's Savion Williams, one of the rangy receivers, big 6'5" guy, looking for him to make a big impact second half of the season.
Use that bunch to the left. Little miscommunication by OU. Easy throw.
Duggan makes another long throw. And the sliding catch made by Tay Barber. We talked about the fact that he only threw 10 passes all last week. That's his 10th attempt tonight, Kirk, and he's completed 9 of them.
Well, and you knew coming into tonight, I mean, this was all hands on deck as a big underdog against the Sooners. We've talked about Oklahoma's defense. It's been a mixed bag at times, playing well, especially in the second half last week against Texas. But a lot of times, Alex Grinch has been frustrated with some of the communication and tackling from this defense this year.
Now the next man up for TCU in the running back room is DeMarque Foster, number 21, and that's just his 14th carry of the season, but Patterson's very high on his abilities as well.
Yeah, you and I talked with him. He talked with Holly all week. I mean, it's like every time you want to talk about somebody in the backfield, he's like, keep an eye on 21 now. I'm telling you, look out for 21.
You've known him forever. Yeah. He said, I've been telling you, media people. I said, well, Gary's had 13 carries. How are we supposed to know?
Well, he's just stacked up.
Practice that often.
But he's stacked up behind so much talent. I mean, Zach Evans is one of the premier backs in the Big 12, but Foster, they say he's got wiggle and some power to go along with it.
And fake it to him. Duggan again, late pressure, jumps it off, and that was dropped. Foster was in traffic there, but spun his head around. Reggie Grimes brought the heat.
Tried a little slip screen, but the defense that time, even if he was able to catch that, they were all over it this time. They had a big touchdown on a screen earlier.
I was giving Gary a hard time about being salty. You people in the media, I said, here, calm down with that stuff. They're not out to get you, coach.
He's the best to watch him.
Some of my favorites.
Mannerisms on the sideline. He's an all-timer.
You just start laughing every time.
I can't help it. Yeah, I love it.
2nd and 10. They try Foster as a runner. He plows forward for just a couple of yards there, wrestled down by Guebo.
You know, this Oklahoma defense last week against Texas, the first half, Bijan Robinson was able to do a good job of slipping off tackles and making people miss. And it was almost like a different defense for Alex Grinch there, the defensive coordinator, in the second half. They were getting off of blocks. They were leveraging the football. They were playing with some confidence. So it's been, like I said, it's been a very mixed bag from series to series this year.
It's very fringe field goal range. Patterson maybe thinking 2 plays to get the yardage here. And scooting forward is Tay Barber. See where they spot him. Looks like it's going to be short of the marker. He was trying to crawl to it. And he's down where they have it spotted.
The only thing I can think of is the knee had the touch. I was going to be so impressed with the effort, but they're going fast here on this 4th and 1.
Giving the replay booth no chance to look at it, and wait a second, they're going to whistle down.
The previous play is under further review.
Yeah,
ruling on the field was that the runner was short of the line.
I don't know why they'd be in a hurry.
I was confused by that because the knee had to touch, because the effort to extend gets him past the marker. See the knee.
No.
Oh.
The knee touch where the ball was well beyond where the marker is.
Yeah. There's a great look at it right here. He's good there.
Right. See, it hasn't touched yet, right? Now.
No, he's past that.
I mean, Spotting is an inexact science, Bill Lamagna, but the TCU almost blew it by running a play before they could review it.
That's what surprised me about that. You'd expect that they'd take the
Slow down.
replay to do it.
Right.
You know, and on this one here, his forward progress was going.
But his defense has kept the Sooners out of the end zone the last couple possessions. The offense trying to chip away here. End around to Foster. That's another respectable first down gain of almost 5.
Good job of moving inside and outside. You know, they've been running the ball with some of the counter plays, running between the tackles, being physical, and also doing a good job of stretching in that run game and giving that defense something else to worry about.
OU defense ranked 11th rushing yards allowed per game at just 91. Duggan has time, didn't like what he saw, and patiently picks his way following blockers. That is a savvy, instinctive runner. Foster gave him a block, too.
Just a real natural athlete and runner. I think he wanted to let this ball out. Watch, this is not a pump fake. This is a let it go. Nope, then he aborts. Now he does the patience that you're talking about. Gets behind Foster. The back that we talked about is very capable as a runner. There you see he's capable as a blocker, improvising behind or in front of Max Duggan. So great play.
Tyler Guyton, an offensive lineman, has put on 92, and he's in the ballgame. And now it's going to be a little trickery here. Duggan is sprint out here, and Foster in position to take a direct snap on 3rd and 1. He's got it, and he is going to barely get the first down. There wasn't much deception there. Benito was waiting for him, but it's into the red zone.
Yeah, we saw the Sooners use that a couple times last week to Kennedy Brooks against Texas. It was pretty effective, couple touchdowns. TCU on 3rd and short. See this all over the country. The direct snap to a back just as a wrinkle.
It's amazing how many direct snaps have figured into Oklahoma games over the years. Two direct snap touchdowns for Brooks were part of the lore. Nick Anderson had one to beat Kansas State one time. And bouncing it is Miller all the way to the end zone. There is a flag down late in the run. We'll check that, but that foot and ankle that Holly talked about looks okay. This one's coming back.
Holding. Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's the 5'9", 162-pound receiver, Darius Davis.
Yeah, he locks up with Pat Fields. This play, he's right here in the middle of your screen. Right there. All of a sudden the ball gets out. He grabs onto the jersey of Fields, but that is a huge gain prior to that holding call. I mean, he was running downhill, picking up momentum. Even without that, I mean, that's still a 15-yard gain.
It looked like it happened about the 13. They didn't give a full 10-yard back from the spot of the foul. They spotted at the 20. Duggan looking to throw to the end zone on first down. Leaping grab by Quentin Johnston. There's a
Johnston, and Max Duggan recognizes it, makes him pay for it.
That's 6'4", over 5'10". Welcome back to the pitch. Fair. Right. I don't like our cheer outs.
I'm out.
And it'll be a touchback. Kirk, it's not chess they're doing. No. Delay here. Williams going to hesitate. It ran right into traffic and gets nothing. It's 3rd and long now.
Gary Patterson changing things up here. He's a multiple defensive coach. Good job here with going to 3 down linemen, getting a lot more speed on the field and affecting the communication with the offensive line from Oklahoma. That was a group effort there, flying to the ball.
This crowd has gotten really quiet. It was a party here in the first few minutes of the game. This Oklahoma offense has lost some rhythm.
Pressure's been coming from the defensive end. Mathis on the left.
This time they keep him out. Williams launches downfield, and it was Mims trying to make a play. T.J. Carter in coverage, one of those 50-50 balls that went OU's way last week. Not that time, 4th down.
No, and this time he actually led him. A lot of those 50-50 balls were underthrown. And this time he just throws it downfield and hopes that his guy can win. But you're right, low percentage throw on 3rd down and long. Pretty good ball there, but Mims only able to get the one arm up. Tight coverage there by T.J. Carter that time, who was in phase, stride for stride.
The senior from Nashville, 50-year senior, transferred from Memphis. One of 2 Memphis transfers on this defense. Davis lets the punt bounce, and it rolls down. Can do here. You have 1 timeout and 2:50 to work with. Penn back inside their 20. And Duggan steps up and just has to throw it away. Drive chart for the Sooners. The first 2 were quick and successful.
Yeah, if you go back and think about this game, you and I were thinking, oh boy, I mean, Caleb Williams is going to score every possession. But since then, Gary Patterson's defense has definitely settled in. You can see the last 3 drives keeping them not only in this game, but now you're down 3 points with the ball. You've got to be loving this if you're a Horned Frog fan right now.
Yeah, 2nd and goal to 2. We had the drop by Stogner, then the sack to end the drive. Swing it out in the flat here. This is Darius Davis, and he's smacked him at the 25. 3rd down coming up. Justin Boyles stopped him.
You know, between Tay Barber and Darius Davis, you got a couple of veterans that can make plays in space. You get him the ball in the slot, try to give him enough room to be able to work after the catch. We've seen Barber make a few plays. Now Davis gets his hands on the football.
Davis is small. They call him D out of Louisiana. But here's a guy who can squat 550, bench 370. He weighs 162. Duggan. Williams a low throw, and going down to make the catch is Miller. Heavy pressure there from Perry and Winfrey from the inside. And Gary called him.
No, and like we talked about earlier, he's brought a physicality to go along with Doug Meacham in the air raid.
Come after the punter. They knock him down. There is no flag. Sandy hit the deck, but the Sooners will take over. Back to the Bear for Affleck out by Sandy. We looked at, he wasn't touched at all, but hit the deck. Didn't fool the officials. Now 1:43 for Williams to work with here. They have the 2 timeouts. Steps up, late pressure, delivers across the middle, and the catch is made by Gray out of the backfield into TCU territory.
It comes right out of the backfield. They have man-to-man across the board. Caleb Williams does a good job of finding that matchup against the linebacker and puts it out in front of him. It's a tough ask out of Jamoy Hodge.
This is Gray getting the football. The transfer from Tennessee knocked down after about a 2-yard gain. Clock continues to run. 1:15 and counting. Riley not spending that 2nd timeout yet.
And most of Caleb Williams, not most, all of his 2-minute background is just in practice. Now, he had the experience last week against Texas where there was a lot of urgency, but everything we've seen from him is just a very good understanding of how to attack. Very few mental errors from him, regardless of the clock and the situation.
Take it to Gray. Williams backpedaling, launches downfield. Mims couldn't make the play, but he was interfered. T.J. Carter hauled him down.
Pass interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Carter must have felt he was saving a touchdown by making this tackle.
Yeah, and again, you've got a safety right there. It's the left hand as much as anything, wrapping around the hip of Marvin Mims, who's pulling away from him and getting to the football, which was thrown out in front. If he doesn't put his hand on his hip, I think Marvin Mims gets underneath that for a touchdown. About all he could do.
So 45 seconds. Ball moved just outside the 30. Well within field goal range for Burkich, but they're thinking about the end zone. Williams fires sideline, catch made. On target throw, and Michael Woods collects it at the 15.
And the defender falls down. So right there he goes down. Pretty easy to make that throw, but a good job of putting it away. Nice low and away for Michael Woods.
He threw a dime on the run, didn't he?
Yeah, C.J. Caesar falls. He's man coverage going down on the cut to the inside. When he went back to the outside, he lost his footing. Now 12 of 14 for 250 yards on the night.
And one of the incompletions was a drop in the end zone. Use a lot of the play clock. Finally gets set up. 3 receivers to the left. Gray kind of got caught up in traffic and was tripped. Now they have to spend a timeout.
You've still pick up the first down if you get down. Gary Patterson, by the way, just wanted to see how Oklahoma came out, saw it, and then calls his timeout. Alive with his legs. See what happens here. Still have the one timeout. Got a free play.
TCU jumped offside on the cloud. Williams throws for the pylon. Incomplete as he tried to get the ball to Woods there. Jenkins in coverage. Now moving 5 yards closer, down to 26 seconds.
Offside. Defense number 32. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
There's Mathis, pair of sacks here, trying to get the quick start.
I don't blame Mathis with the night that he's had going up against Tyrese Robinson. He's winning that matchup. He's just trying to get a quick jump. At this time, it's just a little bit too fast. Gary Patterson up at the side, at the top of the screen, by the way, coaching outside of the coach's box. He's making sure everybody's got their assignment.
2nd and 6. Williams back shoulder fake, caught, touchdown. Jaden Hazelwood. That was beautifully executed as OU stretches the lead before the break.
Can't defend that. You just can't defend that. There's not a corner in college or maybe even pro football that can defend that play. C.J. Caesar doing everything that he can. Is he going to go back, or is it his head's turned and everything? Look at the location of that football thrown on a line. It's not eased in there. It's thrown on a rope to the back shoulder. Great adjustment, great timing there between Williams and Jordan Hazelwood for the touchdown.
Caesar and Hazelwood grabbing each other, and the receiver just able to throw off the defender's hands in time.
Caesar knew it was coming. His head was turned, but the location of the ball, low and away to the outside, nothing he could do to stop that.
We talked about one of the turning points, Kirk. You know, Texas had OU on the ropes there that first quarter. OU was trying to answer, and while we were doing a replay review on a 3rd and long completion that was controversial, the fox is on the field. Have you ever seen a wild fox running around the floor of the Cotton Bowl? And this will be talked about forever. This was when OU got some momentum.
You know what? You made the call. There's a fox on the field, and I thought, wait a second, that was a great job of recognizing fox. I thought maybe cat, maybe a dog. Right away, you jumped to fox. That's your Colorado background.
We got a lot of fox running around the house, and that bushy tail.
All over that. And then next thing you know, we went right back to the next play. We didn't even have time to really acknowledge that. I'm glad you brought that back full circle.
I mean, you don't get a chance to do a super slow-mo of a fox very often. That's kind of a once-in-a-career thing.
Yeah, everybody's talking about the cat that got dropped this year at the Miami game from the upper deck. What the heck happened to the fox? No one's reaching down there and picking up the fox.
Kind of went into the Sooner fan section, and the smart ones scurry. You do not want to mess with that.
It's a mystery. What happened to that fox?
Not that you care, but at Wimbledon they have lots of foxes running around too. You walk by the Sooner offense. And the handoff. TCU is going to again get the football to begin the 3rd quarter. They've been fighting from behind, really from the early minutes here. Gary says, that's all. Get to the locker room. We'll have a defensive meeting. We'll try to get this thing sorted out. Look at the difference in intensity. Do you see a slight difference between the coach in purple, quarterback in crimson?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Let's get Holly's comments from Lincoln Riley at the break. Holly?
Well, Coach, what were some of the factors you considered to start Caleb Williams tonight?
We thought he played well last week, practiced well this week. It was close. I mean, got a guy that played well last week, and I got a guy here that's won championship and a lot of ball games. So 2 good options to choose for, but we went with Caleb.
He did a nice job on that 2-minute drive. What have you seen from him tonight that you can really build on?
Yeah, he's handled it well. He's made a couple of mistakes, but for the most part, he's played well, giving us some chances, and we got to make a few more plays on some of these balls.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Once again, that's tempered praise from the head coach. He's all right. 13 261 and 2. Yeah. The Dish halftime report. Kevin and Booger from the studios. OU by 10. And next half. And Caleb Williams' debut as a starter. Pretty successful, at least through the first 30 minutes. And TCU will get the football, trying to cut into this 10-point lead.
Yeah, and I think Gary Patterson went in there in halftime, fired up like he normally is. But I think he's pretty confident that, hey, we settled down defensively, made some adjustments. And now we got an offense to get the ball, to get this second half started. Let's get points on the board. Regain some momentum.
Perkins to boot it away. Davis will bring it out from a yard deep. Makes a cut. makes a man miss and shows you why he is a dangerous return.
Their effort have provided opportunities for them to get 2 points up on the board.
Yeah, a strong first half from Duggan, looking to throw, and it's a low throw behind Darius Davis. Holly?
You guys, Gary Patterson at the half wasn't sure how much he can use Kendre Miller here, his running back. He did get his left foot retaped at the half. They're going to try to give it a go here and see how he's able to be effective. But he did say Max Duggan's doing great. That foot that is his right foot is still continuing to bother him, but he looks so good. He's like, man, that kid is so tough, and we continue to see that toughness out here tonight.
No question. Here's Miller trying to play hurt, and he shows a good burst and then dives out of bounds. A nice gain. It'll be 3rd and short now.
Yeah, the big fella, he gets his momentum going. You do not want to get in his way. He's able to get to the edge. Some good blocking on that outside. OU this year's had a tough time from game to game of setting the edge. TCU wants to attack. Boy, they missed a big play opportunity on the very first play. Busted coverage in the middle. They had a D. Davis wide open. Duggan unable to get him the ball.
He was eager. He was squeezing the football, delivered a poor throw. Now you got Miller in there. Direct snap position on 3rd and a yard. This worked in the first half. Again, a little too patient, but there was nowhere to run, and that Sooner defense closed down. No surprise that Thomas and Benito were there.
Yeah, first time we've called their names, Isaiah Thomas and watch Winfrey right there in the inside. You know, they actually slanted a different direction, able to both get into some of the gaps there of that offensive line, and they knew what was coming, right? You see the running back there in a Wildcat. You're not worried about anything but making the tackle.
Yeah, there's zero mystery there, and he was very hesitant to pick a direction. So the Horned Frogs stall first possession of the 3rd quarter, and Sandy gets the low snap. And a boot will be fair caught at the 23-yard line by Mims. So Caleb Williams hot from the start tonight.
Yeah, just, again, I think for a true freshman, not just dealing with the pressure, but just the command of the offense, knowing where to go with the football. Very few poor decisions, 13 of 15 with 1 drop, 261. Give Lincoln Riley and the play design, the spacing of the routes, a lot of credit. And that was maybe his best throw of the first half, that back shoulder fade to Jaden Hazelwood to end the first half.
It's worth repeating, Kirk, very little meaningful football since the 2019 high school season because of COVID. His high school in D.C. didn't play in 2020. He'd come in spot duty here in the first 6 games or first 5 games until last week. In his first start, it looks like a guy who's just completely comfortable, born to be in this position. This is one of the glamour positions in all of sports, quarterback at Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And you see pretty consistent both on the shorter throws and even throwing the ball downfield. His accuracy is deadly. He is very, very impressive. I just love the way he knows this offense. Without a lot of game reps, he's confident.
Pulls it and launches downfield. This is Mims, and a flag comes out for the second time. T.J. Carter winning the big play, but drawing the penalty.
And Gary Patterson continuing to put T.J. Carter as a safety.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That is a tough ask in this scheme. That's what they ask them to do. They're hybrids, they're safeties, but they get out there and they're one-on-one, ball underthrown. Mims has to adjust to the ball, and Carter just runs into his back. Second time we've seen it. But again, Mims is the best receiver on the OU roster, and you got him going up against the safety. So good design to get that matchup.
What does Riley tell us? The #1 rule in a deep shot: do not overthrow the football.
Yeah.
Give your receiver a chance to make a play. Williams has kind of underthrown a couple deep balls tonight, though.
Yeah.
Drawn penalties.
Yep.
But that could have been a big touchdown if he leads Mims out there. Brooks. Big hole. Kennedy Brooks barreling down the sidelines and is just tripped up inside the 20. Nook Bradford saved the touchdown, but a monster gain.
Really good job here. Receiver will come in from the right. He's in man coverage. He brings the corner with him, and then he hits the safety. The safety's knocked out. That's Bradford, and now it's a foot race with Brooks. So man-to-man, you bring the corner with you, you chip on the safety, and now you get to the second level of the defense, and there's nobody left there.
45 more yards for Brooks, who's averaging 11 yards in his 8 carries tonight.
It's like Harrison is down.
Anton Harrison is the sophomore left tackle, like his quarterback from Washington, D.C.
Getting the blocks right here, and then Farouk, the freshman, he comes and takes the safety out, but the corner follows. And once that corner follows, you think it's a 2-for-1 right there. And then you get Kennedy Brooks again out in space with that speed.
Breaks hoops, knocking people over as well.
Right.
There's Farouk in motion. Williams to the end zone. Touchdown, Hazelwood, who's been busy tonight. And OU stretches the lead.
The jet motion creates a one-on-one and a nice throwing window. How about the accuracy by the freshman? Just steps and throws a laser right in to Hazelwood, who gets to the inside of the corner. And every throw he makes, you're just, wow. Just the accuracy, the tight spiral. Kid is on a mission.
He's in the zone tonight, that's for sure. And that was huge. TCU couldn't cut into the lead. First possession of the third quarter, and OU comes right back, and now they're up 17.
Chris, this jet motion, watch the defensive secondary react to it. Right here, you get a safety come down, and when he comes down, right behind him, look at that window, right tight window, makes that throw in there between the safety and the corner. That's beautiful. Look at his eyes. And he's got his mouthpiece hanging out. I mean, he's just hanging out here. He's just playing backyard football.
That's his thing. He never actually puts the mouthpiece where it's supposed to go. He alwaise plays with it, just kind of nibbling on one end of it.
Confident was because of how he handled the moment. It wasn't just the throws. It was the poise that he played with last week.
And Davis knocked down at the 20-yard line. Normally an offense you've associated with electric quick strike. They have been tonight, though, a little bit. And they're going to try to get a big play from Miller, who fights really hard. Here's a guy, by the way, that his career average, 7.8 per carry, 7.8. But he and Evans, 1-2 among active running backs in the highest career yards per carry. So they don't miss a lot when number 6 goes out there, but it means that Miller's got to carry a much bigger workload than he's used to. And as we told you, he's playing with that taped up ankle. Second on 2nd and 5, launches downfield in the traffic, and the catch is made by Johnston. Can he house it? Stiff arm touchdown, TCU. Take that. A quick strike indeed. They are hanging around tonight.
And it's again, Chris, Duggan finding the matchup with Quentin Johnston up against Billy Bowman. The freshman out there all by himself. He's a nickelback with a lot of physical attributes, but being able to run vertical is not necessarily his forte. And it is Quentin Johnston, 6'4", 200, about 5 pounds. He goes up and times that up perfectly, uses the right leg. What a great look at it there. That ball went through his arms, soccer style, uses the right thigh to bring the ball back up to him.
Billy Bowman, I got bad news for you. Randy Moss is going to have a word with you.
We have to, which has been a big change for them this year. And tonight, reverting back to the old air raid days of spinning.
Onside kick. And running into the coverage man before the ball went 10 yards was TCU. That kick didn't get far enough to really be effective. And now OU is going to have possession in TCU territory. Bryson Washington, who's a safety, was out there to make the catch.
Bill, it looked like there was a fair catch called there on the onside kick.
Yeah, he waved for the fair catch, and he's going to get protection. Even if the ball hits the ground and pops up, that's still considered.
Interference. Kicking team, number 24. 15-yard penalty. First down, Oklahoma.
Daryl Reynolds, that was quick thinking to wave the hand for the fair catch on the pooch kick there.
It sure was, and it was an excellent call by the officials, too.
And I think it's an excellent call by the Oklahoma special teams. You know, they're familiar with Gary Patterson. Hey, guys, get ready. There's the fair catch. They were ready, sitting there, waiting for that. Not caught off guard at all. And I guess Gary's thinking, listen, the way Caleb Williams is playing, Kennedy Brooks, they're going to move the ball down the field anyway. Let's take a chance.
Yeah, try to steal a possession there.
Yeah.
But Instead, Williams is set up at the 33. You got a very hot quarterback with a short field. And he's going to dump it down. Brooks catches it behind the line, and he is hauled down for a loss. Good looking play by Kendrick Van Zant, the safety.
Boy, that was really good job with the eyes on the ball by Van Zant. He's got Drake Stoops off of him. He gets away from that. Then he just locks in on it. Great open field tackle. Kennedy Brooks never had a chance. Really good look here. Kind of passes off on Drake Stoops. Keeps his eyes on that backfield in case the ball's coming his way, and it was. And then he explodes to the ball carrier.
Van Zant, a very talented high school quarterback and running back at Henderson, Texas. Gary said, you come here, you're going to play defense, and he bought in. 2nd and 15. Williams climbs the pocket and throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Over the head of Michael Woods. He was defended by Caesar, and a late flag comes in. I thought he was going to get away with it, but the late flag does come in, and it could be another PI against this TCU secondary.
He was grabbing onto his arm. C.J. Caesar grabbing on to the right arm of Michael Woods.
Defense number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Gary's scheme, he puts these corners on islands a lot. You know, I mean, that's part of what you're going to do. At the bottom of the screen, 9 against 8, gets a hold of the jersey, grabs onto the arm. I mean, it was a lot of contact there. You could see him even wrapped around the arm.
Carter's been flagged, and now it's Et2 Caesar. Had him on there. That's been really their only way of preventing a lot more big plays than have happened for Oklahoma. 3rd PI. First down now. Play action. Williams steps up, delivers across the middle, and it's Willis. A tough H-back who's so often an effective blocker, gets a chance to make a catch.
Watch him climb the pocket, Chris, and he's almost off balance as he throws his ball. He feels that pressure, steps up. He's kind of falling a little bit to his side, but look at the accuracy and the flip of the wrist on that football. Right where it needs to be to Willis. Beautiful. I love that as a young quarterback, he doesn't want to go to his right, go to his left to try to get at the outside. He's climbing that pocket. It's just beautiful.
Five on the play clock. 1st and goal. Keeper Williams rolling. Throws end zone. Touchdown. Hazelwood again. It's the 4th touchdown pass for Williams. Hazelwood has got 3 of them. A hat trick.
The threat of the quarterback's legs, especially in the red zone, is so challenging for the safeties of a defense because they have to think about, I can't let him get outside. I can't let him run in for the end zone, to the end zone.
No dominant receiver on this team. It's not the CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown kind of thing. They really spread the ball around, and tonight it's Hazelwood's night.
Yeah, he's going to play action here and then get to the outside. But what I'd love for you to do is watch the reaction of the TCU defense. There's the play action. Now we got the quarterback run, and look at this entire group of defenders, what they're worried about. They're worried about, all of them are worried about Caleb Williams' run threat. And obviously, you got to have some that are worried about that, not let him get outside. Some got to stay. He had a couple receivers that were open there in the back of the end zone.
He's counting. He put his 3 fingers down. His last 3 catches have all been for touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns on the year coming in. Again, you've seen a lot of smiles from number 13 tonight.
Just tell me the last time you saw a true freshman quarterbacking a team that's 4th in the country, and after Iowa's lost, they're moving up to 3 at the very least, that had that much confidence and just an aura around him.
Trevor Lawrence comes to mind.
But I don't know if he had that, though.
Really?
Trevor was obviously a dynamic player, but I don't know if he had, like, the whole team is responding to him. It's not like, well, we're going to put in the freshman quarterback and just see how we do with him in there. No. The team has changed because of him. I can't remember a guy.
We'll talk more about what that means down there.
In Baton Rouge and get a big win.
Inspire performance throughout.
Sure was.
Green Davis priced 287 on the ground today. That's a school record that Leonard Fournette held shattered. Dave Barber around left end. TCU once again down by 17. It really creates urgency every time the Horned Frogs get the football on offense.
So one thing that you'd like to think about if you're TCU is that you at least have a quarterback that's played for 3 years. You got 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. So much time in a game like this. Offense is not even close to panic mode. Just let your quarterback keep making plays.
Duggan has time, is flushed, and makes a cut. You can almost see he didn't have typical explosiveness. He's playing on toughness out there. Makes the first down.
Yeah, without a doubt. The foot injury has slowed him, but it's not slowed down his heart and desire. And in a play like that, just finding the sticks, scramble, instead of throwing it away, pick up the first down.
Mention his heart. Of course, folks might remember he had that congenital heart defect that was detected last year when they did a COVID check, and he actually only missed 1 game, but a very scary situation for him. Under pressure there, just throws the ball in the ground. Holly?
Chris, you're right. During COVID testing, he went in for standard EKG, and they discovered this problem in his heart. It's called Wolff-Parkinson syndrome. It's where your heart electrical rhythm misfires. So 4 weeks before the season, he had to have a procedure, and it was really scary. A catheter up his groin all the way into his heart to burn out that electrical current. And 4 weeks later to the day, he was back on a football field. That's how tough this kid is, and that's how much he loves football.
Yeah, he comes through. He's kind of a quiet guy, but I enjoyed talking to him yesterday. And I'm just glad he was able to go tonight. Down the middle, drops a dime, and a catch made by Barber, and they're right back threatening again.
Yeah, what? Too high safety. You're going to get a safety back here, a safety here, so you got to get a receiver down the middle of that defense. See Pat Fields back there, 10 dropping. Throw that on a rope, just like that, over top of the linebackers.
They got 27 playing fast. Another accurate throw. Another first down. It's Savion Williams inside the OU 25. We got the Sooner defense scrambling here, Kurt.
You're going tempo, and again, you got a guy that's played a lot of football. He's been in these kind of games in the Big 12.
Miller back in there, runs to his left, and he is slammed down hard. Perry and Winfrey is just a force in the middle.
I love Duggan off of that handoff. He goes right to the bench. He's over here talking to the coaches about a certain play that he wants, a certain look that he saw, clapping his hands, communicating with Doug Meacham about something he wants to do on this play. And when you have a 3-year veteran like that, you listen to his words and what he's seeing.
Miller accelerates and then just shows that leg drive, and he's down near the marker just outside the 15, third and short.
Just an embarrassment of riches for TCU in this backfield with Zach Evans, who's one of the top backs in this conference, and of course he can't play tonight, so we've seen a lot of Miller, and we've seen his speed, but what I love to see is lowering that shoulder and not afraid to pick up those tough yards like that right there.
Miller's touchdown came as a receiver. He's also been an effective runner. He's got it again, first down, and slams down inside the 10. Royals stopped him, but he's first and goal.
The big fella here, again, working, getting those tough yards. Off to the right, nice job of the right side of that offensive line. Couple good blocks by Coker and Harris.
No slowing down. Miller, that time is hit in the backfield by Winfrey. Blew the play up, falls forward for a yard.
Why they're not panicking. I talked about that. You know, they're used to these kind of battles, back and forth battles. This is one of those possessions, down 17, 6 minutes to go. You're thinking you got to get a touchdown here. They've got to put the touchdown up on the board. They cannot be settling for a field goal here.
They get Savion Williams to the left. Billy Bowman, the freshman, is guarding him single coverage. That's the DB they picked on a bit.
I love the matchup up top with the size of Quentin Johnson against Davis.
Foster in the backfield on second and goal. Dug in, pressured, flushed. Isaiah Thomas got there in a hurry and messed the play up, incomplete as he tried to find Johnston.
He was waiting for the quick slant from Savion Williams to clear, and it just took forever. And by the time he wanted to come off of it, that's where you saw the penetration from Isaiah Thomas off to his right.
There is no foul for defensive holding. Fourth down. Correction.
It's
Third
third down. Let's not have another controversy. Kevin Mark, he got us for a second there. It's third and goal.
I was like, wait a second. I thought we were tackle Billy up here. Like, come on now. I know it's a low percentage throw, but it's 6'4". Quentin Johnston and Jaden Davis at 5'9", 5'10". It's a one-on-one matchup.
It's up there at the top.
Right up here. As safety backs up to help.
Mercado in motion, the backfield, four-man rush. Duggan is flush, makes a cut. He gets sandwiched short of the goal line. Benito again stopped him. They'll need 4 on fourth down.
Well, Alex Grinch has to be very happy with his defense. With that motion, you had 4 receivers off to the left of Duggan. But they passed it off very well. Those inside receivers took it away. Instead of looking to the right, the one-on-one matchup that I thought he would go to, instead he looked left to the 4 receivers. All of them covered, and he just had to take off and bail.
He didn't want to, but Patterson's going to settle for the chip shot attempt from Griffin Kell, a 21-yarder to make it a 14-point game. TCU. What do you do when you get a football, but wait, it's got the other team's logo on it? Get that out of here. Oklahoma fans after that go in the crowd. What do you see you guys trying to get it? He's not going to get it. They chuck it up here, and then it's just a little slam dunk. It's an alley-oop. Get out. Hey! Somebody's got to go collect that on the TCU staff. That's the bummer about it. Kind of like Cubs fans at Wrigley Field, right?
Yeah.
Any home run ball out there, throw back.
They throw it back.
Yeah,
this one's out of here.
I like that even better. Just get it out.
Now they settle for 3, and against Caleb Williams, you don't want to get into this game. You know,
He's talking, Kirk, what a defense would need in this situation. You can't stop him as a takeaway, but Williams is not cooperating with that at all.
No, again, it's like a broken record. You just continue to talk about what he's doing. He looks over to the 4 receiver side, comes back. He sees one-on-one, makes a great throw, lets his receiver Michael Woods do what he's going to do. Watch the defense adjust post-snap. Feels that safety. Comes right where that safety came up, makes a great throw, shows the accuracy and the arm strength. Guy right now is in his zone, feeling good.
Talked to Lincoln Riley. He admitted there's 4 ways this could go. This was plan A. You start Williams, he plays well, you have no problem. There's a play fake, keeps it, shows the running skills. The first time tonight, he's really flashed the legs, slides down near midfield.
Love to see this. Every defensive coordinator that's got to play Oklahoma is concerned about this. Watch this old school Jamel Holloway. Little fake. Now he's got lineman out in front, pulls out, shows the strength. The arm tackle, you know, he's got speed, but what I love about him, you get down in the field and look at him, the way he's built, his lower half is like Jalen Hurts. He is a strong guy, and it shows there the way he's able to pull out of those arm tackles.
A strong guy can also take it to the distance. He's got a 66 and a 64-yard touchdown run this season. Brooks bounces it, stiff arm at the edge, and is driven out hard, slammed into a cooler over there on the TCU bench. But Kedrick Van Zant and Carter drove him out. Looks like he's okay. And back to Kevin Negandhi for an update.
Is Caleb Williams maybe all of a sudden become, if he keeps playing like this?
Easy, Kurt.
No, I'm just, who's a Heisman candidate? Who is the Heisman?
Now, I think you mentioned one of them at Ole Miss.
His team's going to go 9-3.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible to win it with 3 losses. And Tebow, they didn't light things up. Williams, why not just toss it downfield to Woods? No, couldn't come up with that one. The ball was kind of tailing away late.
Oh, no, it's not tailing away late. That's perfectly thrown football.
It was moving outside.
Yeah, that's what you want to throw it. 4 yards from the sideline, away from the defender. Nice route by Michael Woods. He goes, look at this ball, perfectly thrown. That's a touchdown. Progressive pylon cam showing it. Michael Woods is a very, very talented receiver. He'd love to have that one back. That would have added to his Heisman campaign there, Chris.
OU facing a 3rd down for the first time here in the second half. I mean, we've never seen anything like it. A guy who didn't start the first 5 games and then came off the bench. I mean, why not this year? It's been a whack.
It's a year. I mean, he's got to be up there near the top, right?
Man with 2 gloves. He was pitching it around very well for the Panthers.
Good call.
Hit Clemson next week. Good ball game. in Pittsburgh. Williams on 3rd and 3, keeps it, breaks the tackle, shows that upper body strength. Winter's got him down, just bounced off a man. Bradford couldn't get him to the ground.
And I'm not saying this just because his name is Stoops, but he doesn't make a lot of receptions. But Drake Stoops, if you want to watch a guy who's going to give you everything he's got blocking, 12's a guy. I mean, you talked about him a couple times on replays. He's flying. Reminds me of Tim Dwight from Iowa years ago. The flying burrito blocks. That's what Drake Stoops will do to you.
Saw his dad Bob a little earlier, just jetting back into town in time for the game. Oh boy. Williams makes a man whiff and goes sprinting to the end zone. Touchdown, Williams. He's doing it all tonight in his starting debut. Are you kidding? Another blown tackle, but you see how tough he is as a runner. 41 to add to the 4 passes he's thrown for touchdowns tonight. You can only dream about this kind of debut as a starter.
I mean, you can only dream about what he did, last week.
And he acts like, you know what? This is exactly what I've imagined since I'm a little kid. This is exactly what I've expected ever since I got to Norman.
Watch this read. Instead of reading the in man in the line of scrimmage, he's going to read the inside man, Patrick Jenkins, right here. And it's real simple. What does he do? He's going to take the ball carrier. So 91 takes Kennedy Brooks. He comes off of that, makes the guy miss. He's dangerous when you come in from the outside. Then it's downfield blocking. Look at the blocks. Anytime a back or a quarterback makes a run like this, you have to have an assist. Trevon West does a good job. Other receivers downfield. Takes it all the way into the house. Again, this is different wrinkles, different kind of offense. It's much more reminiscent of what you would see from a Jalen Hurts Oklahoma offense, or even going back to Baker Mayfield at times, or Kyler Murray. They've not been running that the last year and a half with Spencer Rattler. Now with the athletic ability of Caleb Williams, they open up the entire playbook, and it makes it that much tougher to defend the run and the pass.
And outside the walls of the program, this kind of, maybe inside the walls either, this kind of performance.
Well, they call him Superman, and I can see why.
Look out. Taking off is Darius Davis. He's been close to busting one tonight. Stopped it
On the ground, and he looked pretty good out there.
It's a great
He's flying around.
A lot of guys are Superman in high school, and then they get up to college and they reality check. But this has been a continuation of the superhero stuff. Davis lost the football. Sooners have it. It's picked up. Deshaun White with a convoy. Throws the ball at the end zone.
It was a fumble. That's the easy part. Down here at the goal line, that hand is not down when he loses control of the ball. So that ball stays live, goes through the end zone. We have a touchback.
Yeah, that's one of those plays. You see this guy, he's trying to make a heroic play and score by putting the ball on the pylon, but it comes out of his left hand, I think, before the right hand hits, which would nullify the scoring opportunity and give TCU the ball back.
I think our sideline check.
Yeah, ball's out, hand down right
Ball's
there.
Out, yep.
After further review, the runner was not out of bounds. He fumbled the ball through the goal line. It'll be 1st and 10 for TCU on a touchback.
Clearly the year who ripped the ball out of Worthy's hands, and that was a play when the game was tied. Or you took the lead on a Brooks run, the play right after that. There's the catch made by Foster, who worked his way downfield, and it's a first down across the 30.
It's going back to last week. Critical moment in the game after the big touchdown.
He never should have brought it out.
Yeah, but he's trying to make a play as a young player. Had more chances after this to make some plays, but always excited to see Caleb Kelly, a guy that's been through so much here in Norman, have a chance to make a deciding play in that football game.
Duggan has protection and a man wide open. They just peeled away and left Quentin Johnson, of all people, open, and he fights inside the 40.
There are a lot of holes in coverage. These last two plays, And Duggan's had enough time to be able to capitalize on that. You see two defenders go downfield with him. It's the thing that's driving Alex Grinch crazy with this defense. You know, and that's not the way it's designed. You're not going to have a receiver go downfield and two guys go with him. And Duggan feels that, sees it, and takes the easy throw underneath for the first down.
And Johnson, again, back off the injury. 6 catches for 160 yards tonight, a couple of scores. Final minute of the third quarter, and they hand it off to Barber. Great pursuit. Sooners spin him down. They had him trapped behind the line. Barber able to dive for a short gain.
Yeah, Keith Lawrence gets in there. He's a young man who transferred over from Tennessee. He's in tonight for Turner Yell, and they feel that he has a really bright future here for this Oklahoma defense, but still just kind of learning this scheme, still kind of feeling it out. But that time, he didn't hesitate.
Duggan, nobody there, just fired at the feet of Foster as the Sooners had that screen sniffed out. 3rd and 9.
You know, they got him one time on that screen for a touchdown, for the first touchdown for the Horned Frogs, and since then they've done a pretty good job of sniffing it out with the defensive line, chasing it from the inside out.
2 plays, you figure, to get the 9 yards here. Miller is back in the game. Gun launches downfield. Williams incomplete.
That was a mix-up there. Savion Williams just stopped running on the route. Ball was thrown.
Football. McCutcheon, the freshman, was in coverage.
Yeah. Watch him just kind of give up on. I don't know if he didn't see the football thrown to him. Ball's thrown. It's in the air. He just kind of stops.
But had a hard time maybe catching up to it anyway. But now it's 4th and 9. Punt team is out there. Sooners may want to be alert for a fake. Anderson
almost too obvious,
give
right?
The ball back up down 21 here. Well, just know how to do this. Kick it high with backspin and retreating to make the fair catch at the 5 is. You haven't stopped him. I guess you're hoping your defense can make a play here with Williams pinned back. You wouldn't bet against, so you going 94 yards for a touchdown in this possession, though. And that is the final play of the third quarter. Lincoln Riley to gather the team at the end of the third quarter, one big huddle, and exhort them, demand that they not let their focus go. And Williams in traffic. You know, Oklahoma fans know that they can come from behind. No lead for the opponent is safe, but no Oklahoma lead is safe either. They've let some big leads slip away in recent years.
Yeah, and Lincoln Riley pulled them again, like you said, at the end of the third quarter, just trying to keep their attention, keep their focus. He wants to finish all the way to the end of this quarter. Complete game. It's a different energy, man. We've been around this team now 3 times over the last few weeks. Completely different team. Not offense, team. Second half last week, tonight for 4 quarters.
On 3rd down, Williams just bounces it outside. There's a spin. Here comes a flag. D. Winters got him to the ground. He gained first down yardage, but it's going to be a hold on the Sooners.
Yeah, Braden Willis on the edge there.
Holding. Offense number 9. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, 3rd down.
That's a great point. We were here for West Virginia, which is the most recent home game before this one.
Yeah.
Completely different vibe. The Sooners were struggling, especially offensively. They didn't put the Mountaineers away until kind of basically a walk-off field goal.
When you get right at that position, it impacts everything. And all of a sudden, you think about the entire nation, other than Georgia, because their defense and the way they're playing. Like, you talk about must-see television right now. I would say that Caleb Williams, for people that have watched him last week in Dallas, tonight, everyone's like, who they playing next week? Like, everybody's going to want to watch Caleb Williams and the Sooners right now.
We saw a shot of Rattler, who's cashed in on the name, image, and likeness stuff. He's got a lot of deals, free truck, free car. And, you know, if people were saying he was going to be perhaps the top draft pick, the odds makers had him, the preseason Heisman favorite. I mean, how much has changed in 2 weeks? And what about him? I mean, we talked about the 4 different scenarios. Williams starts and struggles, or starts and does this. Rattler starts and succeeds, or starts and struggles. Obviously, it's been the dream scenario for Riley and his team, but not for Rattler. Now, what of him going forward? Turk's punt was a good one, and it drives Davis all the way back to the 31. He's got some room, though, to gather speed and jets across midfield. So TCU with 13 minutes even to play.
Yeah, all the way from the beginning. Some lean years.
Expansion team.
You're an Avalanche fan, right?
The Blackhawks fan.
Oh, you got them both. You got both covered. I got it.
Childhood team. And then, like, adulthood team. Miller breaks free. Still running hard here. Excuse me, that's Martin DeMarcado, not 33, but 3. He's the number 4 guy in the depth chart. He's still a skilled back.
They have great depth in that position. They've needed it. With Zach Evans down, TCU will continue to fight. Gary Patterson coached team down big here in the 4th quarter. They're thinking about trying to get that quick score and get a stop.
Mercado again. Spins into traffic, knocked down immediately by Caleb Kelly.
You talked quickly about Spencer Rattler and his options and what might happen. I feel like in a perfect world, if Caleb Williams keeps playing the way he has, see him there supporting his teammates, supporting Caleb Williams would be the dream scenario for him. But you just wonder in today's day and age with transfer portal and potentially opting out, maybe in his mind thinking about getting ready for the draft. I don't know. I would love to see him stay here and be a part of this team.
Play action, Duggan, pressured, escapes. And Duggan still running, gets the corner and just shows his pure determination. Looked like he was going to get tackled a couple different times in that long run. Look at this. Mel Kiper in the draft rank had him 2nd in the draft for preseason. 25th in dropping. Listen, I mean, you can say be a good teammate, but when you're draft eligible in your last year, you're thinking about the next stage of your career and living a dream and playing in the league. And every time you don't play and sit behind a freshman, Kirk, you got to believe his stock is going to drop. Dug into the end zone, leaping play, stolen for a touchdown.
From him. What a night tonight from number 1 in white.
It's a great point. Those long arms with the hand strength. Could have 20 of 28. 336. A bad foot tonight.
For that, he has that touchdown, 66 yards on the ground, and you're going to see Lincoln Riley be aggressive here as a play caller.
It's Brooks. Big things can happen with the simple handoff to number 26. He's forced out. Yeah, because he knows his defense has been struggling to stop Duggan, who's got a career high for yard and touchdowns tonight.
You know, this TCU defense is, all year because of the injuries. I don't know if anybody's been hit harder by the injury bug than TCU. It's continued tonight. They're on the ropes right now, trying to do the best they can to hold on against the run game and especially against Caleb Williams, hitting these creases in zone defense and beating man-to-man.
Williams pulls it and will launch. And that's Hazelwood trying to come back and make the play. And Holly, what's the latest on the Horned Frogs' banked-up defense?
Yeah, guys, they were already without several starters tonight, including linebacker Wyatt Harris and free safety Bud Clark. Travius Hodges-Tomlinson has not played in the second half. We're unable to confirm what's wrong with him. He's just standing on the sideline with his helmet on. But Kendrick Van Zandt, who went out on that tough hit, he is back out on the field. But, guys, they're down a lot of people right now trying to hang on in this game.
Should have been pass interference, in my opinion, on that last play. TCU catches a break.
Brooks to the far left. Play clock winding down on this 3rd and 6 play. Williams got to hurry. And he did spot the play clock just in time and gets a timeout with 1 second to spare.
9-9, Chris.
Crimson Tide hosting the Balls in Tuscaloosa next week. What's Patterson going to do here on 3rd and 6?
Well, you just saw a blitz look from C.J. Caesar on that hard fake clap. They adjust, assuming he's coming. Looks like TCU's. Yep, he's still coming.
Williams looked right there, threw into traffic, and it was broken up nicely. That was Nook Bradford who made the play, and TCU defense gets the stop and will get the football back.
Well, they knew he was coming, and now it's a matter of just trying to win with one of your top receivers against a safety.
A little late.
A little late with the ball. Bradford does a nice job of kind of sitting close to the sticks and then breaking on the ball, almost stepped in front and came up with a big interception. You blitz that corner, that safety knows the ball's probably coming out.
Bradford would love to have set his team up in plus position. As it is, Davis is driven way back deep. There's a flag down in the return, and this guy has electric speed. I mean, when he has the ball and gets in space, look.
Play during the kick, holding, kick receiving team, number 23. That penalty's declined. During the return, block in the back, receiving team, number 23. That penalty being forced, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Kente Jenkins guilty, and that is the penalty that's really going to ruin field position. That's a great punt by Turk, by the way.
23's right here. The call came in right there, right with that push. That's when the flag came in.
So TCU from the 5-yard line, 2 scores down.
I don't remember backed up all night.
No.
Backed up like this. See what Duggan can do with it.
Miller back in the game to the right of Duggan. From his end zone, Duggan batted in the air. And it was Reggie Grimes who came in and got a big hand up.
He had 3 receivers to his right. The ball's out on time. He's got D. Davis where he wants to throw that. Grimes does knock that down. And a little bit more urgency. This offense has had a big night. Duggan's had a big night. Reggie Grimes coming around on his stunt. Good recognition by him to time that up and get his hands up to knock it down.
Evans watching from the bench. Crowd's gotten back into it. And they absolutely swarm Miller. Webu there on the stop. 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, this defense knew. How many times have we seen this quarterback, Max Duggan, under center? And he gets under center. That signifies, hey, they're going to go simple. They're going to keep it vanilla, keep it conservative. So we're shooting our gaps. Let's get upfield. Backers are attacking downhill. Let's make it tough on them to run the ball.
Can't get conservative here, you'd figure, if they're trying to get the 9 yards and get a drive going. See if the Sooners bring pressure. Benito up the middle. He forces the quarterback out of the pocket. Duggan, can he get there with his legs? He shows his toughness. He gets a nice block on the edge, and they do keep the drive going. Miller was on the block there.
I mean, that was a good job of getting away from Nick Benito. I thought it might be a tackle in the end zone. It could have potentially been a safety. That's what Lincoln Riley's fired up about. Nick Benito beat his man, and that's a hold that doesn't get called, but hey, got to keep playing ball. Max Duggan, good job of getting out of there, and great awareness to know exactly where he needed to go to get the first down.
Hold in the end zone, of course, is a safety. You know, you would have gotten the ball back. As it is, TCU trying to get the march going here. I think you're right. You need to use the word urgency, not just because they're down 2 scores. They've got to get quicker tempo here.
Yeah, watch 11. He gets by. Watch the guard. He grabs on, tackles him, then he does the arms up. No, we're all good here. I didn't do anything. It worked.
All good here. You know what I mean? Clock's running here. It's getting down here 8 minutes, and they got a long way to go. Just try to cut it to 7. People to the right and a flinch on the line there.
By the way, people are saying, why is Lincoln Riley so fired up? I mean, that's the safety. Game's over.
Yeah.
I mean, game's over.
False start.
Holding in the end zone.
Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, I could have finished it.
That's game.
Get the ball back up 16. Yeah,
that's ball game. Duggan gets that first down. Lincoln Riley's right there. OU's entire sideline. What the heck's going on here? Easy now.
Some John going on. It's Miller and Deshaun White. 2nd and 14 after the penalty. Foster makes a cut, gets back to the 19. It was an effective play that makes it 3rd and more manageable now.
Oklahoma's entire focus is a defense. Let TCU run the ball. Let them throw those short passes. Keep everything in front of them. The last thing they want is Quentin Johnston, number 1, who's gotten behind him a few times. He's got 7 receptions, 185 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You don't want one getting behind you.
And Joshua Eaton, the man from whom he stole the football for a touchdown, is on him. Duggan looks over the middle and throws incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Barber. Justin Broyles was there to break it up, and it's 4th down. OU defense gets a stop when they need it.
Yep, ball is thrown behind. It gives Broyles a chance to get his hands on the ball. You can see Tay Barber actually works to the inside. He beats him right there. If this ball is thrown out in front, then that's a completion. Instead, he gets behind him, and no chance of making a catch there for Tay Barber.
Well, I think you can see Duggan was disappointed in himself, taking the helmet off after that throw. And the 28-year-old Aussie gets the boot away. And good coverage by the Horned Frogs. He was able to wrestle him down.
3 idle this week.
How big the gap between Georgia and everybody else in your mind? Brooks breaking free and is knocked out hard, but Kennedy Brooks, building on that monster game against Texas, back up over 125 tonight.
I was just going to say, he had a beautiful run,
yeah.
So I wanted to lay out. But I would say that because after last week we would have said Georgia and Alabama maybe and everybody else. Now it's Georgia and everybody else, and that's fair, at this point. They're the most complete team. Their defense is one of a kind. And now they just got to keep building on that. But they're right now at a place on their own.
Will you do your rankings?
Doesn't mean they're going to win it.
Who are you going to put at number 2?
I think I put Cincinnati up there. I think they should be up
UCF.
there. Yeah, I have no problem moving Alabama around. I think Oklahoma is going to move up.
Brooks makes a cut and is hit hard again at the 35 by T.J. Carter. So you say Cincinnati over this Oklahoma
Listen,
team?
Cincinnati has done what they needed to do. I mean, it's the Group of 5 team. It's that Group of 5 argument. They beat Indiana on the road. They beat Notre Dame on the road. You could say those teams aren't great. It doesn't matter. They beat Power 5 teams on the road. And then when they've gotten into their league, they've dominated them. So they can't help who they're playing in their conference in the American. What they can help is how they handle them, and they have dominated Temple and UCF today. I mean, Cincinnati, it's hard not to have them up there.
Brooks, and he's taking some hard knocks here. Midway 4th quarter, knocked down short of the mark. You take a look at the rest of the Bearcats' schedule. It's all about handling Notre Dame, which they did well. You look and see, all right, SMU's gotten to the top 25. They play in Cincy on November 20th.
One thing about Cincinnati this year is how they finished last year. Their game in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia, you can say, well, it doesn't really matter, but it does. It's human nature. You earned respect for Cincinnati based on how they played in that game, and they had 19 starters back from that team that played that night. So
Georgia had about 19 starters out. I'm not saying that.
No, they didn't. That was Florida that played Oklahoma, not Georgia.
They missed a few guys, but I get your point. They did build momentum off that. Ironic that there's a late flag after the play there now. That they're 1-2 now after battling in a bowl game.
Yeah.
Hodge and Carter are still playing very hard. Some frustration showing in that TCU defense. Carter's had a tough night. Penalized a couple times, and he may earn another one for removing the helmet.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
You know what's funny is when your quarterback has a performance the way Caleb Williams has played last week. Here's that personal foul. I mean, he's definitely going to rips his helmet right off. But when your quarterback has a big game like this, you look past Kennedy Brooks. 16 carries, 139 yards, almost 9 yards a carry. telling you, as this season goes on and defensive coordinators coming up with ways to stop Caleb Williams, it's going to be as much about Kennedy Brooks and this running game that Caleb Williams opens up that they're going to have fits with. 9 yards of carry tonight for Kennedy Brooks.
Sooner stretch run is worth talking about. You got Jayhawks and then Texas Tech. Those two should be pretty easy. Brooks slams ahead and will be wrestled down at the 10-yard line. I mean, they're going to be massive favorites at Kansas and here against the Red Raiders. Then they finally get a bye after playing 9 consecutive weeks. And then at Baylor, remember they had the last time they recalled that big comeback. They were 21 down.
That was a great game. Going to Waco is the next game that makes you say, okay. The last 3, actually.
Yeah.
At Baylor, Iowa State at home. That Iowa State-Oklahoma is always a good game. And then Bedlam. You know, when Oklahoma State just keeps quietly winning and proving people wrong. Mike Gundy fired up, dancing this weekend after another big win.
Remember, the Cyclones, the last team to beat Oklahoma, is 378 days ago in Ames. Brees Hall, late touchdown run. Oklahoma had a big lead in that game, and that is the last loss more than a calendar year ago.
How big would Bedlam be this year if Oklahoma State keeps winning and Oklahoma keeps winning?
They're both in well big. So
in Stillwater.
I think
game on.
I think it might be on our agenda.
Can we stumble into that?
We can get there. I think we can do that. Yeah. If you're up for it.
I'm in.
No rush here inside of 3 minutes. So we use the play clock on this 3rd and 4.
Bear loves Bedlam. What's his favorite game of the year?
It'll probably be about 31 with a 30-mile-an-hour wind out there in Stillwater. Icy, sleet. Brooks bangs inside. It's another first down. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but yeah, you get the point. The stretch run for OU is no joke. And everybody, they always wear a big target. I mean, you probably got to lose a couple not to get to the Big 12 championship game. But if they're going for perfection, for a playoff bid and all that stuff, but they'll be pressurized.
I think that as we walk out of this stadium and everybody that watched this game, everybody's going to be talking about Caleb Williams and how Caleb Williams makes Oklahoma a legitimate team and makes this a really exciting race in the Big 12 with what Spencer Sanders and Oklahoma State, what they're doing, what Baylor's been able to do. So it's going to be a heck of a race here in the next 5-6 weeks.
And he's just going to keep hanging that mouthpiece out of his mouth. He's never going to put it around the teeth for the intended job because he's got a thing going here. So why mess with it? Yeah, they'll be talking about him for sure. You said that he makes them a legitimate team. You said, so without him, you think with Rattler they were lacking?
I just go by what I'm watching. You know, I think with Spencer Rattler in there, they were still effective, but it was almost like they just were stuck. They didn't quite play as good as they could as a team. And I feel like what we've seen with Caleb Williams in there, we've seen a very different team.
Oh, there's a handoff to Eric Gray, and Sooner fans know he hasn't found the end zone yet in his OU career here, and he's come close. He's been knocked down near the goal line so many times.
Timeout. TCU.
He had a smile on his face. I think they're trying to get him a touchdown here. He's played well tonight. He's been a part of this action. Obviously, as a runner, it's the Kennedy Brooks show, but you've got Eric Gray as an excellent complement. You need more than one back, and he's also an excellent receiver. So OU is going to, looks like, win a game for the first time against an FBS opponent by more than a touchdown. TCU did the best they could with a banged-up offense and defense, hung around. But you're right. I mean, the takeaway and the talking point here where they talk football like 24/7 is going to be what number 13 did in his first start.
Yeah, and it should be. Honestly, I mean, what he did last week against Texas, bringing him back, it caught everybody's attention. And I don't know, can you think of anything that was more anticipated than is Caleb Williams or Spencer Rattler going to be the guy in all of college football across the whole country? That was what people were interested in seeing, and he got his shot, and he's completely taken advantage of this. And there is a buzz in this stadium, in this city, in this state now about this Sooner team with him there.
He did not throw away his shot. And Eric Gray barges in the end zone, and the folks here who really know this team are appreciative. That's not because it's a 3-touchdown game. It's because Eric Gray has finally found the end zone. Tennessee Volunteer, was a very effective runner and receiver out of the backfield there. And his first touchdown for the Crimson and Cream. 9-play touchdown drive to cap it. And as they say, over half 100 now for the home team. Gary Patterson not used to giving up 52 points.
Good push up front. Again, keep throwing those bouquets at that offensive line. They've been playing much better football. Starting to look like Oklahoma's Sooner offense. It's nice to see Gray get a chance to punch one in and get his touchdown.
A lot of teams, when you try to protect the lead, can't do what they just did. They just ran it all 9 plays of that drive. If the Texas Longhorns could have taken the lead and run the ball, Bijan wasn't able to do it 2 weeks in a row. I mean, that's what wins games, and it seemed comfortable, but the ability to punch, he knows what he's talking about. He was a legend. So OU is going to roll through Lawrence. They've won 20 in a row against KU. That's going to be 21. And again, we talked about Cowboys and Sooners on that collision course.
Here's the wild card team that could play a spoiler role, I feel like. It's just almost like they're forgotten because they haven't remained unbeaten. And before it's all said and done, Matt Campbell and Brock Purdy, the Cyclones, will make somebody's Saturday a very sad Saturday. You just know they will.
You see him as a spoiler. Don't forget about Baylor, though. Baylor did beat Iowa State.
No, I'm not forgetting Baylor. I'm just saying somewhere along the way when you're, looking ahead at potential big games down the road further, Iowa State could sneak up there and get somebody.
No doubt. Well, I mean, the gaps aren't huge in this league. I mean, the team is, Oklahoma's trying to make it a 15th Big 12 title. The rest of the conference has 13 combined. They've dominated, but this year the reality is there's going to be a lot of close games, a lot of really competitive games won in the fourth quarter by just a play or two. State, by the way, 13-point win over Kansas State tonight. Texas has 3, and that is the next biggest total. Dominance for OU. Final 20 seconds here. DeMarcado still running hard. TCU, meanwhile, tough road. Kirk, they got West Virginia at Kansas State, Baylor at Oklahoma State. And this team just would like to get healthy and show what it could do. Caleb Williams tonight, 18 of 23, 295, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Had some big runs at a touchdown run and netted 66 yards on the ground in his first start since a junior in high school in 2019. Well, the win streak is 15, longest in FBS. Iowa had the second longest. They stumbled today. This is a different looking football team, isn't it? It is. From a couple weeks ago. Different defense as well. Let's get down to Hollywood. Lincoln Riley has got to be pleased.
Well, Coach Riley, you had a difficult decision this week to make. You've never changed quarterbacks before in your career in the middle of the season. How did you make the decision and how has it paid off?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough because you got 2 really good players in that room and 2 guys that are team first, regardless of what wants to get reported on the outside. I mean, both those guys were into it, helping each other on the sidelines. I'm confident Spencer would have came in here and played well. Caleb got his opportunity and did a great job with it.
His ability to extend plays with his legs, it really helps your offense. It kind of gave you a zing today. How does that factor in?
Yeah, it did. TCU, Gary, they always do such a great job defensively, so Caleb was able to get loose a couple of times, did some good things in some scramble situations, and our guys made plays behind it.
You guys remain undefeated, the longest winning streak in the country. At the end of the day, that's really all that matters, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it's been a fun run. This team is getting better as we go. We're excited. Hopefully we can keep getting a little bit better as we go through, get a few more guys healthy, and try to make our late run here in the season.
All right, usually it's the coach patting the kid on the you-know-what. That was Caleb patting you on the back, if you didn't know that. Hey, thank you, Coach.
You got it. Thanks, Holly. Appreciate it.
Interesting. He's not just the head coach. He is the quarterback coach, and he said that made the decision extra intriguing and in some ways difficult because he's with those guys in the room every day, not just as the boss, but as their position coach. And usually you want to complain to the position coach when you like what the head coach does. You can't do that when you're a quarterback here.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think I love how he's trying to keep Spencer Rattler engaged. I mean, we all know at this point it's Caleb Williams. I mean, this is his show. He took advantage of the opportunity. You could see what he did last week against Texas in the heroic comeback. And then tonight steps in as a starter here in Norman, his first home game. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and just it's a different feel.
Hear what he said. Despite what the media reports are, he's asserting that Spencer Rattler is still a team guy. The team seems to be pretty united and rally behind Williams, but that continues to be a saga that will unfold with Rattler if he's going to be on the bench the rest of this season. A lot for him to think about.
Well, it's to me, it's a no-brainer what you do, but I didn't grow up in 2021. You take your new role and you're there for your teammates, and you're there to support the starter, Caleb Williams. You hope he takes that route. This is a back shoulder fade, just an absolute beautiful throw where he's able to make reads. This is when the defense has to be concerned about the athletic ability to lose sight of those receivers in the back of the end zone. Here he is reading the defensive tackle on his own read game, makes people miss, gets downfield. He's got speed, he's got power, he's going to break tackles and has the instincts as a ball carrier to take it into the end zone. So he's a complete package. He's a great leader. Really everything you would hope to have at any offense would love to have. And right now it's Lincoln Riley, who's had a lot of great quarterback play here.
His counterpart, Max Duggan, wanted the win. Will have to be satisfied with career highs throwing for 336 and 4 touchdowns. Pretty gutsy effort on an injured foot tonight. It wasn't enough as Caleb Williams in his first start. A little more subdued reaction than he had when he was leaving the Cotton Bowl. He's kind of growing into this role and very comfortable with it. And Oklahoma rolling along. Very surprising if they don't get to 9-0 and head down that tough stretch, hunting for a playoff bid. Oklahoma wins it by 21. Tonight's game produced by Bill Pennell, directed by Derek Mobley. Next week in primetime on ABC, Ohio State at Indiana, Arizona State and Utah playing right now on ESPN. Local news except to the West Coast for ABC. So long from Norman, Oklahoma.